Hey, welcome back to Let's Make Lemonade, where we make lemonade out of the crappy lemons that we've received through this diagnosis of infertility. My name is Salina, and if you are new here, my husband and I are in the middle of IVF. We are actually one day away, actually less than a day away from transferring our first embryo. And so today we are going to talk about PIO shots. You know what this is, right? Progesterone and oil shots, basically. And you have to do this, I believe it's 5 days before the embryo is transferred. Mondo and I have had some practice with this so far, and we are perfecting the technique. Now, I have a clip of us doing this. It was the second night, I believe. Yeah, I think it was the second or third night of us doing a shot. And so we have noticed that, you know, we've had to change a couple of things here and there. The instructional video that we were told to watch says to, when you are injecting the needle, to do it in like a dart-like motion. And Mondo, my husband, took that literally. And so it's a dart-like motion and it's really hard. And so we have been perfecting his technique. I will say last night it was the best, which I don't think I've told him that yet. It takes time to perfect the technique sometimes, and God willing, we will be doing this for a long time. So let's talk about that. I've learned that with the injection sites, you want to really make sure that the injection is not too low, because there's a sciatic nerve and you do not want to hit it. It can be very, very painful. So this is the diagram that they showed me, and I thought it was really interesting because so they show obviously the butt crack, right? And so then you actually want to like draw a cross, or yeah, like a cross. And then you see where these circles are. So you have this quadrant right here. And what she did was she took the top of that and she obviously drew a line to that side, and then made a circle or an oval. And so that is where we are injecting it. So I thought that was pretty interesting because I didn't know exactly where it was, but that's the first time I've seen them do that before. So that's cool, if that's super helpful. And so it's really more of like the upper, like it's upper, like up into the side, rather than just like the left booty cheek or the right booty cheek, if you know what I mean. The progesterone that I have is in sesame oil, and sometimes that's not the case for everyone. But I think that is a pretty popular one. You do not refrigerate it, you leave it at room temperature. I say that because somebody told me to put it in the refrigerator, and I was like, oh my gosh. But thankfully I looked at the package and it says store at controlled room temperature. So you don't want to put it in the refrigerator. So all of the tips and tricks that I've learned, I want to tell you, and so that when you are transferring, or you're about to do this, or you'll do this whenever it happens, that you will know ahead of time. I know for me, I watched these tips and tricks and girls doing this before me months ahead of time. I tend to be a little bit of a researcher, and so I'm always looking for like the best way to do things. And so I want to tell you all the things that I've learned. I have been told to ice the skin, so that you don't feel the injection going into the skin. I've also heard don't ice the skin, because the oil, you want it to be nice and warm. And what happens when oil gets into the cold? Well, then it starts getting harder and thicker. And you don't want to put something thick inside of your muscle, right? So I have been playing around with this. I'll tell you, I initially thought I was going to ice, and I haven't been icing. I've just not been using any ice. And the reason is for that, because I'm warming this oil. And so I'm like, okay, if I warm the oil in the vial and then I put it in the syringe and it's warm, and then we put it inside of the muscle, but to get through the muscle, it's cold. To me, I'm like, well, isn't that going to freeze it? So maybe that's not the case. Maybe it doesn't even matter. So that part, I'm kind of playing around with. So, you know, you just got to do whatever works for you. We use an electric blanket to warm up the oil in this vial. And so I just kind of roll it in there, while we're putting the things together, getting like the syringe and the swab and the gauze and all that out. Mondo goes ahead and he puts it together. And then when the oil is in the syringe, I actually put it back in the electric blanket. So I've seen it differently. I've seen it, you can warm it up in the vial. You could just go ahead and put it in the syringe, and then use the syringe to put it in an electric blanket or put it underneath your arm. I've even seen women put it in their bra. You know, wherever you think that it's going to be warm, that's really all that matters. You want warm oil going inside of the muscle. Then you use a dart-like motion, right? The person who's doing it. Now, for me, Mondo wants to do this. He wants to do this as my husband. You know, we women do a lot of this stuff on our own, right? We go to all of the appointments, our blood is taken all the time, we're getting looked inside of us all the time. A lot of us end up going to the appointments by ourselves. If you did your egg retrieval stimulation meds, you probably, a lot of us do it by ourselves, even though our husbands, our partners can do that too. I did it by myself, and that was my choice. But he decided, I want to be a part of this. I need to do this. I want to be a part of it. So I'm like, okay, you can be a part of it. That's fine. I think that's awesome that he wants to be a part of it. So he's putting it together, and he's really enjoying it. So what I do is I just lay down on the bed, and you'll see that in the clip. I'm gonna show you he's gonna show you what we do. All right, so first he washed his hands.
Yes.
And then he is taking the alcohol wipe, and he's wiping the top of the progesterone bottle. So there are 2 needles we talked about in another video, right? So one, the really big one.
Yeah.
One is to actually take out the progesterone from the little vial, and then he will switch the syringe to actually inject it.
Cap off. Okay. Put it there.
Stick it down, push the air out.
Push the air out first. Go on 2. Okay. All right.
And he will switch the syringe. So he is screwing the right one.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna pull the top off. Okay. Remember, flick it, and you want to.
Just real quick.
A little drop. Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
There we go.
Okay, here we go. So, when you go through this, the nurses draw a nice little black, like circle on your behind, so that you know exactly where to put the injection. So he wiped off where he's going to inject me with an alcohol swab. And here we go. So it's supposed to be like a dart.
Okay.
A dart kind of movement.
Okay.
This thing is really long.
Good.
Do it.
Okay.
Gosh. So he says it has to go in slowly because of the oil, and that it doesn't really let you go fast. Some women, I've heard, if they have to inject themselves, they stand on the leg that obviously they're not injecting. So you want that muscle to be nice and soft. You don't want it to be tense at all. If you're doing it by yourself, you obviously have to twist, you have to twist to do that. I would think that having somebody do that was going to be a little bit more helpful. After the injection, you want to, you put the gauze on because you might bleed a little bit. And then you want to immediately start massaging. That's what I've been doing. That's what we've been doing. So as he puts everything away, throws things away, I start massaging the injection site. And then I don't even have it with me, but I have this massager, this handheld massager, and it's like a vibrating massager. And we use it for massaging the injection site. And so he'll do that for like 5 minutes and just in a circular motion, just massage it. And just to prevent any lumps, because I've heard so many stories of women getting these lumps from the oil that just kind of gets like cold, I guess, inside and just stays in the same spot in the muscle. And I have been working hard to avoid that at all costs. So he has my gauze so that whenever it starts bleeding, it'll catch it. And there it is. And of course, there's our little sharps container. You always want to put everything that's used in there. Now, some people say apply heat even after that. For the first couple of nights, I was laying on the heating blanket, and then I was like, you know what? I feel like it's not doing anything. It could be doing something. It could absolutely be doing something. But for me, I just thought, I feel like it's a waste. So because I'm already heating up the oil, I'm already heating it up in the syringe, we're massaging it when it's in there. I mean, feel free. You can sit on a heating blanket, like on a couch, and just let it be warm. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, what I have been doing is I've been doing squats. I've just been doing some little booty work, afterwards, because I heard someone say, hey, that they do squats. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, it just adds more activity to my day. So I do squats afterwards, and I do sometimes lunges and just kind of activate the glutes. And I don't know if that helps, but I will tell you that I haven't gotten any lumps. Now I feel a little bit tender, like at the site, a little tender, and I don't know if that's just like that jab that he's been doing, or if it's, I mean, it's a needle that's going inside of a muscle. I mean, I would think that you are going to be a little sore from that, but I haven't felt any lumps. And so that is what we've been trying to avoid. So it seems like we're successful in that area. And you know, I've heard somebody say also take a walk. we've been doing this at night. And so by the time we do this, it's usually like getting dark. And so I haven't been doing that, but I will say I take my dog Bella for a walk every evening. I did that yesterday evening, right before he gave me the shot, unintentionally. And I will say that I feel it less today. So there might be something to that, maybe just warming up those glutes, activating those glutes so much so that when the oil goes into it, maybe it's so hot already, it's warm, that it just kind of does its thing. And I don't know, that's a theory. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. Hey, it's worth a try. So I think I covered everything. I hope I covered everything. That's at least the main things that I've been told, the main things that I've seen. Good luck to you if you are doing it, if you're about to do it, if you're doing it now. You're probably doing some of these things as well. And hey, if I missed something, please tell me in the comments. Like, share it to everyone else who gets to see this video for sure, because people are watching this because they're curious, right? And so yeah, put it in the comments so people can see that I'm sure I missed something. The next video will be the video of us transferring your embryo. I have no idea how much I'm going to be able to record. My doctor's office is kind of tight on the recording, but maybe they'll surprise us tomorrow, or maybe we'll just be ninjas and try to like figure something out. But yeah, I will try to video as much as possible. And so that will be the next video that I will post. So follow along and see where this journey leads us. I hope this is it. I hope and pray that this is it with all my soul, but only time will tell, right? And so as we enter the 2 weeks, then I will also be videoing as well and share with you all of my thoughts and my emotions and everything that goes into that. So if you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to push that notification button, which would be the bell. Without that, then you won't see all the videos that pop up when I release them. So I'm so glad that you joined me today, and I'm so thankful to all of you who are walking on this journey with me, and I wish you the very best on your journey. Until next time, until the next video, see you then.